Ecclesiastes chapter 10 might sound a little familiar to the book of Proverbs, because really all this chapter is a compilation of sayings, good sayings and quotes, like like what you'd get in the book of Proverbs. So this chapter could have been put in Proverbs, but it was added here with Ecclesiastes. But it reads something like you'd get in Proverbs, basically. So let's go through these ideas to help us learn. There's definitely a theme among all of them. So verse 1, dead flies cause the ointment of the apothecary to send forth a stinking savor. So doth a little folly him that is in reputation for wisdom and honor. So this is that idea of if you are a perfume maker and some flies get in your perfume and die, they're going to ruin the perfume. They're going to mess it up. It doesn't take much to destroy it. And he says this is the same problem with folly, with doing stupid things. If you are in a position of reputation, you're in a position of wisdom, you're striving to be better, there's not a lot of room for making goof ups. Basically, you got to be kind of careful on those things. Now, verse 2, a wise man's heart is at his right hand, but a fool's heart is at his left. You may be like, well, what does that really mean? Well, right is usually favored. Left is usually unfavored in a lot of scriptures. If you have any more deeper analogies or meanings in there in Hebrew or other things, you could let us know. It would be great in the comments. But that's kind of, wise man favors his heart. He seeks to follow internal guidance to help him in his life, whereas a fool does not follow internal guidance, just disregards his internal wisdom. Verse 3, yea, also when he that is a fool walketh by the way, his wisdom faileth him. And he saith to everyone that he is a fool. So again, fools have a tendency to not even go along with what they believe, what they already understand. Verse 4, if the spirit of the ruler rise up against thee, leave not thy place, for yielding pacifieth great offenses. So again, if somebody comes to get you, the ruler is mad, I'm going to go fight you and take you out. He's saying, don't fight back. Don't fight back, because that will make you guilty of an offense too. So just take a more peaceful, pacifieth role, basically, and that'll help you through that situation. Now, verse 5, there is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceedeth from the ruler. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. So you can be wealthy, but if you're a jerk, you're still going to have problems. Now, verse 7, I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. That's like a role reversal. He that diggeth a pit shall fall into it, and whoso breaketh an hedge, a serpent shall bite him. So this is basically running into your own problems. You're making your own mistakes. Basically, you're not getting hurt or having a bad time because of somebody else's mistakes. You're making mistakes, and it's costing you. People get mad. Oh, why did I lose my job? Well, you lost your job because you were in jail for 2 days. Why was I in jail? Because you drank too much alcohol and you got behind the wheel of a car and you caused a car accident and sent someone to the hospital or whatever. You can fall into your own hole, basically. You can cause your own pain in your own life by your own choices. Like verse 9, whoso removeth stones shall be hurt therewith, and he that cleaveth wood shall be endangered thereby. If the iron be blunt and he do not whet the edge, then must he put to more strength. But wisdom is profitable to direct. Now this is an interesting point. If you've ever tried to chop wood or cut something with a knife, you will know that a sharp knife, as dangerous as they could be, is way better than a dull one. Like if you're cooking, if you're trying to slice an onion or something, or slice an apple with a knife and it's dull, you have to put more effort into it. You have to force the knife through it. Whereas if it's a sharp knife, it will go smoother through it, basically. But this is where wisdom comes in, rather than brute force, to go, oh, I need to sharpen my knife. Who was it? I can't remember if it was Abraham Lincoln that said it, or somebody else in those early days of the U.S. said that if you gave me the job of chopping a tree down in 6 hours, 8 hours, excuse me. If you give me 8 hours to chop a tree down, I'm going to spend 6 sharpening my axe. That's because of wisdom, kind of what they're talking about here. I'm going to get ready and be prepared so that I can do what I need to do more efficiently and faster, basically. That's important. That's where study, learn, helps you to be better. So, verse 11, surely the serpent will bite without enchantment, and a blabber is no better. Absolutely. Somebody who can't keep their mouth shut, who just spreads rumors and problems and things, is just like a serpent going around biting people. Now, verse 12, the words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of the fool will swallow up himself. So that's another good indication. Are you giving wise words or foolish words? If the foolish words will basically come back on you and swallow you up, you're going to be toast by, if you're held accountable by what you said, if you're going to be toast too, it's not a good thing. Now, verse 13, the beginning of the words of his mouth is foolishness, and at the end of his talk is mischievous madness. A fool also is full of words. A man cannot tell what shall be, and what shall be after him. Who can tell him? The labor of the foolish wearieth every one of them, because he knoweth not how to go to the city. So again, the foolish people, they're going to have a harder time. They don't know what to do. They don't understand how to do things, and they take so long to get stuff done. They don't understand what's going on. This is, being wise is giving you critical thinking, to ponder and understand and to think through things, to solve problems. So verse 16, woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child, and thy princes eat in the morning. Blessed art thou, O land, when thy king is the son of nobles, and thy princes eat in due season, for strength and not for drunkenness. So this is kind of an idea to think about when he's talking about, the land. It's better for the land to have a king who has experience. If you're the son of a noble, you have experience. You know what you're doing. You know what's expected of you. A child doesn't know what they're doing in the office. I have no context for how I'm doing things here. Talking about princes who eat in the morning versus princes who eat in due season. So the princes who know what to eat when to make sure they have enough. Those who eat in the morning just want whatever they want. They get gluttonous, and then they run out of food. And so you got to be careful. It's managing what you're doing, not just running through everything, basically. Now, verse 18, by much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness the hands of the house droppeth through. Very important. Things fall apart. Things are naturally in a state of decay. Okay, this is the if you think of the metaphor of the bee, watch our videos on the Egyptian bee. Everything is wanting to collapse and fall apart. That's not all is vanity. What's really important? All this is going to collapse and fall apart and go away anyways. What's truly important? And so that's what they're talking about here is, if you don't take care of stuff, it's going to fall apart. It's designed that way. You need to be taking care of things. Verse 19, a feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. There's a good point in there, honestly. Money can do a lot if you have it. But he's saying in here, of course, if you take that in context with everything else, money isn't everything, but it can help a lot. Verse 20, curse not the king, no, not in thy thought, and curse not the rich in thy bedchamber. For a bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which hath wings shall tell the matter. So be careful cursing people out or spreading rumors about people, because it will probably get around eventually to that person. And so you don't want to have those problems and issues. They say that, cursing, people who try to destroy other people and spread rumors about other people and lie about other people are following the influence of Satan. And that's one thing we have to be careful with, is if that's happening in your life, you may want to rethink who you're listening to, what kind of advice you're getting from people, basically. So let's jump over to our next chapter as we continue to move forward.